Hello and welcome to the COP 4. I'm back on hosting duties. Jamie is away at the moment. Very busy man. Not too much news going on with Liverpool either right now. It's pretty dry, but the Richard Hughes departure has kind of been confirmed. So I think that's the biggest talking point at the moment. And we'll get into that in a little bit. If you are new here, make sure to like, subscribe, get your comments in. Let us know your thoughts on anything, including the World Cup, of course. And Brian, Liam, how are we doing? I like the new setup, Brian. You're on mute.
Were we both on mute there?
No, Brian, I can't hear you, mate. I can hear Liam.
Yeah, Brian, are you? Technical. He's right at the start.
Technical difficulties.
We were sat in a call for 10 minutes beforehand, and I didn't notice a massive Mo Salah in the background. But I like it's a nice touch.
Yeah, no, it is good. Still can't hear you.
We cannot hear you, Brian.
You're gonna have to dip, mate. Dip out, come back in.
More hydration breaks already on the COP 4.
The COP 2, mate.
The COP 2, like you say, Jamie.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jamie.
Matt, compliment. The new setup is here, and yeah, look, it's good.
It's beautiful, mate. It looks very nice.
Looks very nice. I'm also pretty good. Jamie, not here, like you say, and not much news either. But we can talk about the World Cup. I think there is a lot that is going on in terms of that, with players being knocked out, and maybe some of our lads going on to win it potentially. So I'm sure we'll get onto that too.
Yeah, no, definitely. But kicking off, Richard Hughes, lads. We were talking about him in the last live, weren't we? Actually, so it's funny that this news has came about. Big moves, Hughes. Ornstein came out with the kind of news that he will be departing to Saudi, but he's going to stick around for this summer. Does anyone think it's odd like me? What do we think? I do think it's weird.
I'll let Brian start with it. I feel like he's got more of a big opinion on it than me.
I think, I still stand by what I said, even though there is a lot of sort of potholes in my point. But I think you don't sign a sporting director to stay for 2 years and in the biggest summer of our recent history, I would say, because if it goes wrong, we definitely go down a rabbit hole like United did. He is going to up and leave at the end of it. And I know he's fully focused on Liverpool's transfer window, but I don't know. How focused are you when you know you're leaving a job? How intense are you actually going to take it? How sort of much stress are you going to put on yourself? So for me, I just think it's silly. I think obviously then we'll probably have Julian Ward potentially come in, but it just seems like over the last 6 years or so, we've just had no luck with sporting directors, even though we have some of the top guys in the game. I think if I was Michael Edwards, I'd be looking to move Richard Hughes on now and just take over myself and get this summer window, signed, sealed, and delivered the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean, it should have happened with Slot, shouldn't it? It should have gone with Slot, in my opinion.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the point? Like they came in together, like they had all of the pictures together. Like I see them as a duo. So when one goes, I just don't see the point in it. Especially with all the Saudi links. How long were they around for during the season? We knew it was coming, so it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, it is a bit strange, of course. Like just knowing that he is going to be leaving in one of our biggest windows. There's so much to do this summer. I think you said it in your video, didn't you? There is so much to do, and he's just going to end up leaving at the end of it. It's disappointing to see, but I don't imagine he is the one. Like, surely he's not the one leading it this summer. Then, like, I don't imagine we're that incompetent of a club to say that we're, because he weren't the one that gave Iriola a tour around the training ground and stuff, was he? We've got an assistant sporting director, and he was the one that actually led that sort of process. And like there was loads of pictures like Edwards and Hughes in the background. So I imagine he's not the one like fully leading it this summer. Maybe he's just sort of shadowing the new guy, putting him into his new position. But yeah, it's still strange. I think we were talking in the last live, weren't we, about his time be considered a success? I think maybe that'll age good, maybe it'll age bad, but right now it's definitely not good that our sporting director is leaving. At the start of the summer, while we need loads of transfers and stuff, we know our sporting director is leaving at the end of it. It's not good.
No, it's not good at all. But Brian called him the worst sporting director of all time, didn't he? Do you stand by that?
I think my point might look really bad in a couple of years, or it's going to look really good. Look, it's hard to stand by like he's the worst of all time. He's definitely, I don't think he's up there as one of the best. But then again, he's the sporting director that brought us the manager that won the league. But he's also potentially the sporting director that could plunge us into the worst period of our club's history, potentially, if this summer transfer window doesn't go right and the next 2 seasons aren't too kind. If we have anything similar to last season and potentially miss out on Champions League and that we become United, I'm worried, in my opinion. So that's why I say that point we'll just have to marinate. I think 2 years as a sporting director, no signings have really hit other than Ekitike. I'm a little bit worried, I won't lie. And then leaving Slot in charge until the end of the season last season was just clueless.
I think it's weird because as fans, we don't really know how things work at a club. Like, it's obviously much more complex than we make it out to be in our heads. But at the same time, I mean, we see it as he's the sporting director. He's in charge of getting all these signings in, a new rebuild, new manager. And then to hear that he's just leaving, it doesn't fill us with much confidence, I don't think. And it does make me slightly worried, especially the fact that we haven't started this window very quickly at all. Just Munoz over the line, not too many concrete links either. And we need players. We need players. Like, I want minimal change this summer, but we need a DM. We need a winger. And if we don't get those, it's incompetence again for me.
I was going to say, are you concerned with the lack of links? Like, I know we've got the World Cup on. I know Ariola's going to want to see the squad first, but it feels like we've not been linked to any right-backs, really. We've been linked to some midfielders, but it seems like a lot of them are leaving to go to other clubs now. Like, Bouadi seems to be close with City, Anderson to City, Fernandez to Spurs, so many. So there's a lack of midfielders on the market potentially. And then right back, I think we can all agree is a position that we definitely need. We haven't really seen any links this summer.
No, it's a massive worry. And I mean, Spurs are showing more intent in that position with Tonali and Fernandez. Wow. I know they've sold a couple they sold that Vukcevic, whatever his name is, to Brighton for quite decent money. But as of right now, they are showing the most intent in the Premier League. And I get they nearly got relegated, but Liverpool didn't have a great season either. We need a DM. I can't stress how much. Like 2023, Caicedo and Lavia, we still haven't got one. And no links.
Zubimendi in 2024. Yep. He wasn't much of a DM profile, but at least he was a midfielder that was the profile that Slot wanted. Surely we are going to sign one this summer, but maybe it'll just be like a Munoz one where we actually have no idea until it gets reported, and it's going to be this player from out the blue. Same with the right back. I think someone commented there. We're linked to that Rayo Vallecano fullback, that Andre.
Okay, this gives you.
I have seen that, but I don't think there was nobody reliable really reporting that. That was just a sort of throwaway article, I feel like, from some sort of reporter in Spain potentially. Maybe we do end up getting him, but that's quite underwhelming. No, like if we were to just get a stopgap right back, do you not think we need a starting quality right back?
Yeah, I mean, Frimpong at the minute, isn't it? It's just Frimpong, and
that's what I mean. With Bradley injured, maybe we'll continue to see likes of Jones and Szoboszlai right back. I'm not sure.
Hey, I think it's becoming a trend in football. You know, with Rice moving to right back for England the other day. I honestly think a lot of coaches, Pep kind of started that, didn't he? As he starts, make loads of trends, but
10, he's always 10 years early on everything, isn't he?
He is. Right. He is.
It is mad, but I think of a midfield next year. I don't want to throw a hot take because I don't fully know if I believe this, but it's an opinion that I'm starting to kind of delve into. But Szoboszlai's best position could actually potentially be right back for us. I just don't think he influences the game enough as a right mid, and then as a centre mid, he's unbelievable. But I think I prefer the three potential other midfielders that we could be playing. I think I'd prefer to see Wirtz at a 10. I think I'd prefer to see Gravenberch at an 8, and I think I'd prefer to see a proper DM. You put Szoboszlai right back, and at least he slots in and can do that job. But we just know he's not going to want to play there. He's not going to want to be a right back. So then you have this sort of conundrum, don't you? But he is potentially better than Trent defensively. Well, I don't even know if that's actually. I'd say he is better. I think he is better, but he's definitely a level below Trent going forward with the balls he can put into the box. But he's still unbelievable. His quality is unbelievable from right back.
Yeah, if he didn't want to leave already, like there's question marks, he might want to leave. I think he definitely would want to leave if he started playing right back permanently. But I don't think Frimpong's good enough to be our starting right back for the full season.
What?
either. Got a question here from Labab. Big up for the comments as well. Get involved in the chat. What are your thoughts on buying a winger with less media attention like we used to do? Well, I mean, we bought Munoz. We've got one already. I think you can't buy two who are like that. I think you need one to show more intent. Obviously, we spoke about it last live. Barker's that for me. But what do you guys think on that?
I'm still under the opinion that I think we might need two. We might need two more, especially if we do go for another sort of unknown, like Munoz level player. Is it good enough going into the season with like two Munoz level wingers, Rio and Gakpo? I think I said it in the last live, didn't I? Like that seems more of like a Newcastle sort of squad depth in the attacking areas rather than Liverpool, who want to go and challenge in Europe, challenge in England for the Premier League. That seems underwhelming to me. So maybe I'd still be looking for two more, but I don't, because like we've been saying, like there isn't many links. I don't know if that is the plan. I don't know. None of us know what the plan is really, but. Yeah, like we have been linked with these sort of unknown names like El Mala, who's like a left winger, never really played on the right. Maybe, we clearly think that we can mould him as a right winger. Fernandez Pardo, I was looking forward to watching him for Belgium last night, but he didn't even come on in 120 minutes. So how good really are you?
That Belgium team is shit as well.
Yeah, that Moreira came on the left. That's what I mean. Fernandez Pardo stuck on the bench, so maybe he isn't as good as him currently. Clearly, Belgium don't rate him that highly. Obviously, he's in the squad, but so yeah, I think Barcola's a must in my opinion. But then, as long as we get Barcola, I am happy to get another sort of just not average player, but someone that we can develop like a Munoz into a star.
I can't fathom how bad the market is for wingers altogether at the moment. Like when you just look even 10 years ago, like you had Mane and Salah, and signing Mane at the time, I remember I was buzzing. I know we were in a different period in time, like we were looking to push in and close that gap on top four and start actually making some ground there. But then you look at the signing of Salah next, and I know a lot of people had question marks because he was a bit of a flop in the Premier League with Chelsea, but you knew you were getting a winger that scored goals in other leagues. I think most of these wingers now that we're seeing and we're getting quoted mad prices for barely score even 6 goals in their league. And I just find it mental. Like we don't have a sort of established player in Europe at the moment. Whereas at that time, it felt like even if you weren't going to get Salah or Mane, there was El Shaarawy. There were so many other wingers across Europe altogether that you could have looked at. And now I can't think of 3 wingers I'd actually be happy for us to sign. If we don't get Barcola, in my opinion, this whole summer is messed up now completely.
I had question marks about Mane, when we signed him.
So did I.
Really?
I was not. Like I didn't like it. I was like, do you know what I thought it was? It was like we got Benteke a couple seasons before, I think it was, and I was like, convinced it was similar to that. It was like we overpaid. I didn't think he was consistent enough. Obviously, you knew he was a good player. He always scored against the big teams, but he was a bit
always
hit and
scored
miss.
Against Liverpool. It felt like
he did, yeah. But obviously, look what he turned out to be, one of the best.
Yeah, well, he had that. He had that gap. Like his goals was like he scored against Chelsea in like November, and then his next goal was 2 against Liverpool at St. Mary's, and then he scored like what was that, a hat trick or something like that against City, and then that was his only goals like from November to the end of the season.
But it was good that he was scoring in the big games at least. I don't think, like you said then, I don't think there's someone in England currently that we're looking at and we're like, yeah, that's a goal-scoring winger. Even around Europe, like you think of the amount of ones there were, like you say, when we bought Salah around that time, there was like Sterling was bagging like 30 to 40, it felt like for City. Alexis Sanchez. Feels like there was loads of sort of goal-scoring wingers on the market. And Son.
There were so many in the Premier League alone, like Mahrez.
Yeah, it feels like it's shifting the other way now to like wingers going back to that old school sort of creative role first. And maybe that would suit us a lot because I think we've discussed already like loads of times on here. I think Isak and Virtu will be the ones replacing Salah's output. So maybe it is just you get a winger that can sort of create, get to the byline and things like that. But you definitely want them to chip in with goals as well. Like I made a video about Minte today, but he's still only got I think 4 goals this season, or he's got 7 goal contributions. It was either 3 goals and 4 assists or 4 goals and 3 assists. It's just not doesn't stand out really, does it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, the market in general, you say the winger market isn't great, but then the striker market isn't great either. I think it's just where we currently are in football at the minute. It's not great in terms of like individual qualities. Big up for the comment, Farhan. Mates, do you reckon we get Barkley over Arsenal? I do think it's going to be between Liverpool and Arsenal, but there was it Romano who said or Ornstein who they value him more than Diamande? Was that this week?
Yeah. I think that was since we've last been online.
Yeah.
Ornstein it was, said that they're going to want like more than Leipzig want for Diamande, which is crazy. They're saying like even if they do go and sign Akliouche and Diamande, they still don't need to sell him. But I think that's surely just got to be just
smoke screen.
Yeah, because he will want to leave surely. Like he's currently not playing. He currently there was rumours of him wanting to leave when it was just Doué that he was competing with, and now he's got all these other players as well. Like surely, I think he is going to be key in whether he leaves or like the fee too. I think if he's pushing for a move, then they'll have to let him go for less than 130 odd million at least. But
driving the price up 100%.
Yeah, and there was a BBC report as well, like from a more like Arsenal side, like maybe like Arsenal's Paul Joyce, I think it is, and they were saying that like everyone's got their like leading reporter. I think I think it was Arsenal's version of Joyce basically saying that they want Barcola. Like Barcola's an alternative to Rodgers, and if you're looking at both Rodgers and Barcola and you're saying which one do Arsenal need on the left wing, surely they're going to go after Barcola. And like we said so many times on here, like if he's given the choice, is he not going to choose them over us? I'm not very confident about that.
I just think it is a massive smokescreen, the whole thing. I think it's them covering their arses if, let's say, they can't get Diamande, which I'm not sure if they will be able to pull it off. I know he wants to go. I know he actually spoke out pretty recently saying that he will probably leave. But I wonder if Leipzig could potentially just get him for another season. And it means no one signs him. And then they're covering their arses about the whole Barcola thing by keeping his price quite high. So if someone does come in for Barcola, they now have more money to put towards Diamande potentially. I don't know. For me, I know we say he would choose Arsenal over Liverpool, but I think we could get it over the line. You'd have to think with the groundwork we would have done last summer. He was the alternative to Isak. Like if we don't get it over the line, I'd be shocked because it's the same concept as Caicedo going to Chelsea. Chelsea did the groundwork for months, and that was the difference. We just threw in a bid, got accepted. He was happy to go, but at the same time, once Chelsea wanted him, it was like, well, I they've been there from the start, and that's why he went there. Obviously, the money talks as well, but I don't think he'll get much more at Arsenal than he'd get at Liverpool. Yeah, just the London lifestyle, but I just think if you've done all the work, surely you go in for a player, you pay the money, he is happy to come. My only fear is we're leaving it so long on both Diamande and Barcola. So I don't know if we end up with either of them. However, I am going to say I do think we get Barcola over the line. I feel like it has to happen because, like I said many times, if we don't get a Barcola or a Diamande, like we have absolutely ruined this window.
Yeah, I think for Arsenal, the reason to pick them obviously is like the stability reason as well. I think it's very just unknown right now what Liverpool are going to be next season. And maybe Barcola can come in and like he can push us to the next level, push us to challenging and stuff, and he can be that main guy for us, especially on the wings. But yeah, Arsenal just seems a lot like the safer option and probably the option in the short term. Like, I'm not saying I hope we do go and win more trophies than Arsenal in the short term, but if you were to pick one to be less risk, I think you would go for Arsenal really. But like you say, we have done the groundwork even since when he was at Lyon as well. We wanted him when he was at Lyon, so this is going back definitely a few years now, at least 3. So
for sure. Farhan has made a good point here. I could see Arsenal pulling out of Rodgers' race and going all in for Barkley, as you said, Liam, as well. I don't really understand why they want Rodgers because they signed Eze last year, who literally, naturally a number 10. They can both play off the left. Why do you need to go in for another one this year? And he's going to be over 100 million because in the market, that's what Villa will want. So that is my worry. I feel like they'll reevaluate and think Barkley is actually the one we need to go for. A few comments in here as well. Big up to Nyoni. Be happy with Somerville. Somerville did have a good World Cup for me. Did miss his penalty in the Netherlands game, but
I thought it was a good penalty, by the way.
Oh, it was a weird one, wasn't it? It was a weird save.
I feel like this is the most random thing ever. Like on the COP 4, we're talking about that Bono keeper now, but like that might be the new style to like new way to save a penalty. Like he stayed.
It's like FIFA, just like move over.
He moved, and if he dived, we're talking about that as a really good penalty in my opinion. Like he's put it, he would put it over the keeper anyway. So that was just my little.
Yeah, penalty. No, 100%. But he did look sharp. He looked sharp in the World Cup, and he's more of more of a left winger, but he's impressed me on the right as well. Out of the Barclay alternative, Somerville, Minter, Consensao, who satisfies you the most? I know, Liam, you've been talking a lot about Minter in your videos. Brian says Somerville there. Out of those three, if you could pick one, Consensao, I haven't really seen the links much to him.
Yeah. It would probably out of those three, it probably would be Minte, just because Somerville predominantly left winger. But I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be happy with just him. I think we do need two, and getting Barcola and Minte could be a really nice dynamic because all four of our wingers then would be able to play on the left and right wing. I do like that. It sort of gives you a lot of tactical flexibility, doesn't it?
Yeah, Somerville's a young player as well. You like him then, Brian?
Somerville, yeah. I think he reminds me of a Sadio Mane sort of signing, a player that can play on both sides, someone who's tricky with the ball at his feet. Nice.
I'm with you there, mate.
That wasn't a great take. No, but I think he's a good player. I think he'd get into the side. I think he could potentially push the start. So I would be happy with him. Yeah, I don't know what you think of him, Max. I know he has had a World Cup, a good World Cup. So
yeah, no, I like him. I was even liked him at West Ham. You got to take into consideration how bad West Ham were as well. Like how much they sat deep. He had to drive the ball up the pitch so often. Very good player. David's in the chat. Jamie's dad. No such thing as a good Miss Penno. Yeah, that's a good point. To be fair,
mate, the pen was good. He lifts it. It's going top left, and we've seen an unprecedented way to make a save in a shootout. I disagree.
Just while we're
on Jamie's dad.
Just while we're on the winger chat. I also saw you made a video about Munoz's comments in the media or an interview. Talking about Iraola, is that right? What he wants from his wingers? Tell us a bit more.
I've got it here. I've actually lost it now. But yeah, he was talking. He was asked a few questions. I think he did do an interview when he first signed, didn't he? I'm pretty sure. But I think further quotes have come out now because it was the 1st of July. Obviously, he's like all these players are now. Well, same as Jacquet as well. All these players are now confirmed.
Yeah,
Liverpool players. Yeah, he was asked, what does Iraola like about you? And he said, my directness, the way I try to change matches, the way I press and try to suffocate the opposition. Those are the qualities he looks for in a winger, and they were a big reason why I made the decision. So that's why in my video I talked about Minte, because I think if you're just looking at them qualities, I think Minte is still very raw. I think someone mentioned it in the comments there as well. Like he's not the finished product, still only 21 years old. But if you're just going off directness and work rate, really, that is I didn't see what came up then. That is Yankuba Minte's game, really, isn't it? Someone that's going to get at his man and work extremely hard defensively. I think they're probably two friends. So that's why I sort of put 2 and 2 together there. But yeah, it's interesting. Iraola's gonna want our wingers pressing. I think that shows a lot of good things about what we're gonna see next season. I think we didn't see enough of that under Slot, did we? A lot of like so passive, and it makes the atmosphere worse. So we're come up against these relegation sides, and we're going to be hounding them, looking to win the ball back out of the pitch. I think that is going to contribute to that atmosphere in the ground massively.
I have a really big question I wanted to ask Liam, and it came to my mind after Germany crashed out of the World Cup, and I'm sure we'll get on to talking about the World Cup in general, but now coming away from the World Cup, what you've seen of Germany, and obviously you made the point that in a desperate time, obviously we were stuck with Slot, and you said Nagelsmann, and I heard the shout completely. I think after the World Cup, though, he has potentially ruined his reputation. Would you still want Nagelsmann if he was available and we didn't have a manager and we were linked with, let's say, Iraola and Nagelsmann? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do get what you're getting at. I think they were very open on transition, Germany, which is something that was potentially a concern, but I don't think it's something new that we're seeing with Nagelsmann's style of football. I think that was a criticism of when he was at the likes of Bayern and Hoffenheim as well, Leipzig too. I think he definitely has more pedigree in the game than Areola. He's proven more. I think if you look at that 2024 Euros with Germany, I think
they were good.
Apart from Spain,
they were really good.
Well, they got knocked out by Spain, but leading up until that point, they were actually, I think everyone was putting them as the best team in the tournament. So I wouldn't just base it off these 4 games. I think it was definitely a disappointing campaign for Germany. But yeah, it doesn't change too much about what my thoughts on him. Maybe, I don't know. We're going to see Klopp overtake him now, probably, aren't we?
Looks like it.
He looks like he will be stepping down. But I don't know where Nagelsmann could go next, really. Maybe he'll take a break.
I'm going to be a German.
How do you boys feel about it? How do you boys feel about it?
Klopp.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think his football's probably really suited to international football as well. Like he doesn't need to do all these tactics. It's essentially just press and.
The thing is though, how can he does he need time to implement that style of football, like to get his players up to the best physical shape? Like players in tournaments, you come off a long season in their domestic leagues. I think that's a challenge for him, but I'm really intrigued because it's something new and I think he will take it. I think he's the type that if you get offered, your country's job, you're gonna take it on. And I just want to see him back in the dugout. Imagine someone said in my comments the other day, right? In a World Cup or Euros, Spain versus Germany, Klopp versus Guardiola. Imagine that.
I'd love it. I'll
go one further. I think Ronald Koeman should be sacked as the Netherlands manager.
Get a Slot in there.
Slot versus
Slot would do him. Slot is like weirdly good with managers he's obsessed with though. Like it's so strange. Do you remember that first season? And he absolutely outplayed Luis Enrique at Anfield, absolutely outplayed Pep Guardiola at Anfield and the Etihad. He outplayed Ten Hag, but he talks about these managers so openly. Like I remember his first few interviews, he was saying how much he loves Guardiola. He's a huge fan, and it would be a big moment for him to meet him, let alone manage against him. And he goes and does all that. Just quickly on the Klopp to Germany thing. I don't know why I feel like this, by the way, but I'm buzzing for him, and I hope he takes it. And I hope I'll be a Germany fan from that point on. But I am a little jealous for some reason. I want him just to be a Liverpool manager. I don't want to see him anywhere else. Does anyone else got that, or am I just I don't know. I can't let go.
I think, like Max said, I'm just excited to see him back. Maybe once we do see Germany play, I'll think, oh, come on. Maybe we'll see how we're doing as well. If we're flying under Areola, then I won't mind at all. But if we're struggling at the start and then we see Klopp in the Germany dugout, we'll be thinking, oh, if you just waited a couple more months.
Yeah, if it was club football, I think I'd be feeling much more jealous.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he has been out of the game for a couple of years now. So, yeah, I'm just so excited to see what he can do with that team. Because they are a talented squad, but maybe the squad depth isn't there. But Nagelsmann could have got more out of them. I do think the players underperformed, though, as well. The amount of times they lost the ball, they were so weak, actually. And I'm not going to even get into the Wirtz talk, but I do think, again, he was a representation of them again. And he was a representation of Liverpool this season as well. Just so humble.
Go on, Ryan.
I think this will be it now. That if there was ever a job Klopp could take that would help Liverpool out massively, it's Germany helping out Florian Wirtz. I think he can elevate him to a completely different level altogether. And I know there's only a small amount of time international managers get to work with their players, but he's so hands-on with players that you just know he'd be talking to Areola and Wirtz while the actual league season is on things to help on. Maybe not Areola in a very big brow to little brow sort of way, but he'd be trying to help in any way possible for Wirtz. I think he'd be able to elevate him to a completely different level altogether. So I'm excited on that aspect as well. But on Florian Wirtz in this tournament, if I speak, I'm in trouble.
You know what? I think that's an unpopular opinion, though, because I made a video about it, and I didn't even say he had a bad tournament, by the way. I said he failed to have a successful season at Liverpool, and he failed to have a successful World Cup, which I don't think is controversial to say. He's been knocked out of the World Cup by Paraguay in the round of 32. That is an underperformance both on Germany's part, but also, he's the main guy. They all came out before the tournament and said he's just another player at Liverpool, but at Germany, he is the guy. I think when you're losing to Paraguay or draw into Paraguay, I know he got an assist in the game, but you just do want to see more. You want to see, and it's the same criticisms that we had of him all season. He needs to grab games. He needs to really have that arrogance about him to go, look, I'm going to be the one to change this game. He got 3 assists in 4 games, so I think that's why a lot of people in my comments were saying three assists.
Yeah, but that's the football fans of today, isn't it? Like, look at the quality of those assists. I think one was literally just a layoff to the Mecha. Yeah. One was a simple pass to Sane, and then, to be fair, the Paraguay one was good, and he played well in that second half for them. But people just look at the numbers, think he got 3 assists, he played well. If you watch the games, the amount of times that he lost the ball, it's just worrying, really worrying.
Yeah. I don't think he had a good full game once. I think he was really good in that first half against Curacao.
Yeah.
I think he dropped off in the second half. Didn't even get a goal. I'm not being overly critical of him, but he didn't score. Well, he was probably the only Germany attacker not to score. No.
Yeah, 7 goals.
Their right back, their sub right back came on and scored, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean just in the entire tournament as well. Though, like Sane scored, Undav, Havertz. Did Musiala score?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, in the first game.
That's what I mean. You got to be critical of him in that sense. But yeah, I thought he had a good first half against Curacao. I thought he then struggled throughout the game against Ivory Coast. We talked about that. I thought he was good in moments against Ecuador. And then, like Max says, good in the second half against Paraguay. I thought he struggled in the first half. And maybe it will be down, a bit of it will be down to Nagelsmann. But how many times can we just blame other things,
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of it. Players at Liverpool, Slot misusing him. That's what I said in my video. A lot of people, when he was playing poorly in the 10, everyone was saying we need to use him like Nagelsmann does and put him out on the left wing. But we've seen him there for 4 games for Germany, and like we've just said, I think he underperformed there too. At what point does it get to the point where we just, we want to see more from him? There's no way back this.
I think that the main thing is he needs, I think it's very obvious that his confidence is rock bottom now. I think he needs an arm around his shoulder and to get a bit more of a license to be free at Liverpool. I think his season at Liverpool has been, he's been very restricted in what he has done, very shoehorned into different positions. So I'd like to see Areola try just do everything to get the best out of him, give him a bit more freedom on the ball and see what we can do with him. And if next season he doesn't perform, it is going to get extremely, extremely scary for the conversations, which I'm not excited about. But a man who I do think has had a World Cup, a good World Cup, is Alexander Isak. I know they got absolutely embarrassed the other day, but I think it was good signs of a pre-season showing from Alexander Isak and stuff to look forward to. I think my worry, though, and I said this to Liam the other day, is with Wirtz, because he's young, he could potentially have a shit season next season or an average season, and he could still be at Liverpool. Whereas if Isak doesn't perform next season, there is a chance in my mind that he could potentially be sold by Liverpool the following summer, because he's going to be 28 next season. We need to see a big season from Alex altogether, especially with the fact that Ekitike is out. We don't have another striker. We've sold our goal scorer in the Premier League. So I don't know. I'm a little worried, lads, but I'm also excited. I don't know how to feel. It's a very bittersweet feeling at the moment with Isak.
I think he's got less room. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think Wirtz, you've got more excuses for Wirtz. It's a big season for both of them, but Isak's proven it in the Prem. We know he can do it. And to be honest, I think him in the World Cup, that's probably as ideal as it can get, because Sweden were never going to go that far. He played most of their minutes. He looked sharp. He got a goal. He got a few assists, didn't he? So I'm excited to see him. I just think now it's about building a side around him and getting him ready in pre-season as well. If we start seeing him bag goals in pre-season, I'm going to be so confident that he's going to hit 20 in the league, as long as we have the players around him. But yeah, I'm 75% confident Isak's going to have a very good season for Liverpool. Don't want to jinx it though.
Yeah, the only concern is just that fitness, isn't it? We just need him to stay fit. That is the only thing. And I think something that's really positive, I don't even know, did he complete 190 for Liverpool? He's just completed 490s in a row for Sweden in a short amount of time. I think that is very positive. It's almost not even a preseason before preseason. That is probably more work than he's going to get done in preseason, really. So yeah, if we can just continue to sort of build and maintain and build that fitness level of his in preseason, and then go into the season, because he looked quick against France. I don't know if you saw that ball,
really quick
free kick in the channel. When I think it might have been his only shot of the game. They tried a quick free kick on the halfway. the way he latched onto that, obviously the shot was disappointing, but I thought like he's looking sharp. I think against France that was probably definitely his poorest game in terms of all round play.
But it is Sweden, isn't it? That's the thing.
I think a lot of it was messy, but that group stage was very good. I think I said that he was the most impressive player in the group stage. Got loads of goal contributions, didn't he? But just like you say, how sharp he looked throughout, making runs in behind, linking up with his teammates, and then getting the goal contributions. It was very, very positive. And yeah, as long as we get those wingers right, those winger signings, I've got no doubt that he's bagging 20, 25, 30 all comps, because he's the main guy now.
He is. That's the thing. He's going to be expected to contribute a lot, and rightly so, for that amount of money. A lot of people were trying to say, he was terrible, one of the most expensive players on the pitch. And I hear that. He probably should have performed a little bit better in that France game. But it's Sweden. I don't rate their team. I don't rate their manager. And you're up against the best team in the World Cup for me. I honestly think France are going to win this tournament quite comfortably, and they're going to smack pretty much every team in the process. So I was happy to see him go out. I was happy to see Wirtz go out. And I was happy to see the three Netherlands boys go out as well. Did any of you watch that game? Because it did look like a madness.
The Morocco one?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't start.
After my Diamante trauma, I don't stay up for games anymore.
It looked like that one might have been worth it, though. It looked very good.
Yeah, I know Gakpo got the goal, didn't he?
Big Gakpo, man.
Going on with him recently. I saw him break down after
the
goal. But I think the fact that he wanted to play, he was there, and then he puts them 1-0 up as well. Fantastic sort of attitude from him, because I think nobody would have blamed him if he just left the World Cup completely after.
100%.
But it shows his character.
Yeah, for him to be even there is a madness, and then to contribute with a goal, put his body on the line with the finish as well, is very impressive. But I think Morocco were the better team. They created more chances through the highlights that I saw. He obviously did go to penalties. Were any of you surprised Van Dijk didn't step up? He's got quite a bit of heat for that.
Yeah.
Deservedly so.
And I agree as well. I read something that he was meant to take one. I think Koeman said that he was feeling something. But I think Somerville was also feeling something, and he stepped up. As the leader, it's only a couple steps and a kick. I know you might be feeling something, but you are the leader of your nation. He's one of their better penalty takers too. I think he did miss in the World Cup 2022. Maybe he bottled it in that sense, but I would have still liked to see him step up, to be fair. And the other two not on the pitch, Gravenberch and Gakpo, subbed off, because Gakpo's one of their best takers as well. But I think he was subbed off. So. He was subbed off around the 110th minute. But again, maybe that's more of a mental side. Like, you don't want
100%. That just protecting him, which is the right thing to do. I can't imagine Gravenberch taking a penalty, really. But Van Dijk, if Liverpool ever gets penalty shootouts, Van Dijk would be in my 5, just because of how much power he has. He can just fucking smack it.
Am I going mental here, or did Gravenberch take one against PSG in the year Nunez and Jones missed?
Nah, I can't remember that. I don't think he did.
No.
I feel like I've seen a Gravenberch penalty.
No, I don't think he did. It was we only took 4 in that game, right?
Yeah, and Jones and
Nunez. Or who else then?
I'm not sure, but I don't imagine Gravenberch would have been one of them to step up.
Gakpo might have taken one if he was on at that point.
No, I think we subbed off all our best takers, didn't we?
We did. We did.
So maybe Gravenberch did take one. Good evening, Ron. But I think the 3 Dutch lads were also very impressive. We're talking about Wirtz maybe not being as impressive. I think all 3 of the Dutch lads had good performances throughout. I didn't watch that Morocco game, but in the group stage, Van Dijk got, was it 2 goals? 2 goals maybe? Gravenberch I think he scored in the first and third game, no?
No, I think he just scored in the first game. Good header, though, against Japan. I think so. I don't think he scored in the third.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong then. But Gravenberch...
He got an assist in the third one.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Gravenberch getting a couple of assists as well, playing in a more advanced midfield role. I think that was definitely something that we could potentially see at Liverpool. That was good to see. Definitely, he was one of the best midfielders at the World Cup. I think we've been linked with so many. All the Liverpool fans are sort of saying we should go and get Nemecha, we should go and get Bawadi. I think if we didn't have Gravenberch, everyone would be crying out for that as well, wouldn't they? Saying this Gravenberch guy for the Netherlands.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
he's a player. So
he's had a good tournament. I think all of them did. Well, apart from Wirtz, really. I think he was okay, 50-50. But the rest of them, they've had a good tournament. They only got one player left in it, right? McAllister.
No, we've got Alisson and Munoz.
Oh, well. yeah, Alisson as well. And
Munoz plays in an hour. We'll see.
And McAllister.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you boys, it just came into my head there. Did you see the ranking for the top 10 Liverpool players of all time by the social media page? And did you see where Van Dijk is? It's not all out. So there's 5 more players left. So I think the 5 are going to be Barnes, Salah, Dalglish, Gerrard, and
Souness
was 6th. I can't think. There's
Rush?
Definitely another player. Yeah, Rush, I would say. Yeah. So I don't know where they're going to rank. We could probably talk about that. But Van Dijk on 8th place. Alan Hansen one ahead of him in 7th, which is probably fair enough. I'm not going to comment on that part, but just interesting. A lot of the comments are like, could have been higher, could have been lower. Like it's not bad, but I would have potentially had Van Dijk a little higher myself, just off. He is probably the best centre half to ever play in the Premier League.
I just don't see the point in what was the sort of way they were looking at this, doing this top 100 thing, putting out all our players against each other. I just think. I don't really see where they're coming from in that regard. I think it's a pointless list, to be fair. It's cool.
Yeah.
It is cool, but yeah. I was actually thinking earlier, do you think... I hope Van Dijk does extend further years, because I think he could go down as like top 5 players of all time. If he has a 3rd successful period at Liverpool with like another set of players, like obviously he had that 17, 18 to like 22, 23 really. Then he gets the Premier League... leads us to a Premier League as the captain in 24-25, and then he extends again potentially and gets more trophies in his cabinet as a captain. Do you think I think he could really break the top 5? And maybe a controversial statement that Brian wouldn't want it here, but would he, if he gets more Premier Leagues or Champions Leagues, would he surpass Salah then? Who knows?
It's a conversation.
Surpass Joe Allen.
No, mate, he's 3rd on the list.
Yeah, he's yet to come. I just find it so difficult to judge these things because, I think what have they got up to then? Number 6 or
number 6?
Yeah, so Souness is 6th. And like I said, so it's Rush, Dalglish, Gerrard, Salah, and Barnes are the ones that haven't been used. Actually, Lovren's not even been said either, so he's yet to come.
Yeah. So I just find it so difficult to judge, Dalglish, Rush, and Barnes. Like, I can only really talk about the players that I've seen. I mean, Van Dijk, the players that I've seen at Liverpool, is comfortably in the top 3 or 4. And if he does stay beyond next season and gets another big trophy over the line, then he's into the top 5 for me, especially with like the squad that we have now. It's not like we've got loads of other players around at his age as well to go again. But I don't think he's going to stay. Unfortunately, I do think he's going to go after next summer.
Yeah, we've spoken about
really hope now.
Quite a lot. I think the only thing that's stopping it is that wage. Maybe he'll definitely have the opportunity to get big wages somewhere else still, either in Europe or in Saudi. I think he can definitely, obviously, still play at the top level of Europe. But I do hope he oversees like a sort of another period of Liverpool, like I said. But he would have to take a wage decrease for that. Just on the players you said that you have seen there, Max, I think what we can judge, like you say, is players that we have seen at Liverpool. And I'm looking at some of the rankings here. Luis Suarez in 15th, greatest Liverpool players of all time, and Mane, Alisson, Robertson, Henderson all below him. I think that, I know it was fan voted, and I'm pretty sure like other Liverpool players and previous like legends of the club were consulted in this, but I just think that's a bit of a joke, to be honest. Luis Suarez is not at 15th. Mane is a greater player for Liverpool than Suarez, no?
But it's just it depends on what you're judging it off, because I'd have Suarez number 1 as the best quality player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Overall, for what he done for Liverpool, he didn't win a trophy for us, did he?
No. This is why Carabao Cup. Yeah. But this is why I can't understand this list, because if we're talking about quality, then Suarez maybe is deservedly where he should be, or maybe he should even be higher. I would have him higher, as I think he's the greatest player I've ever seen play for Liverpool on his day, but in terms of quality. But then Firmino's ranked lower than Mane, but he was at the club longer. I feel like Firmino did a lot more for Liverpool than Mane did, and I love Mane. I'm not even digging him, but if we're talking about quality as a player, surely Firmino's higher and his service is higher. So I don't fully understand the actual way this has worked out. If it is fan voted, but I don't know. I don't understand how this is voted for or anything. But like, I know the list is meant to be fun. It was meant to keep Liverpool fans busy over the first couple of weeks of the summer, which I appreciate. I do like looking at the list when I see a name pop up, but I don't know. I just do agree with Liam massively on, like, it is going to not turn players against each other, but I don't know why we've pitted players against each other, especially ones that are still currently in the squad.
Yeah.
I don't
like you
get
say,
it.
The conversations are fun to be having now. Like we're all enjoying this, talking about Suarez, Mane, Firmino and stuff. But I think why would be
what do they get out of that?
Yeah,
even like they done the Carragher thing. Carragher done it, didn't he? On the official Liverpool page, his top 10. There's odd things to be doing in the space of a few months. I don't really see the need for it,
especially during the season. That is so bad.
And the Salah thing was going on, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really poor timing. I think he did that to like sort of promo this, because I know it was like this was voted for like in February or something, wasn't it? So I think it was to sort of promo it. But the way they released it, it did make it seem like he was putting like Salah low. It was like on the day of the Salah announcement, or like close around it.
Yeah.
And that was the massive talking point about him having like Salah sixth or something like that. But yeah, I don't understand it personally. But what else is there to talk about? Leaders into the
well, I was just going to say, we've got some really good comments in here. Appreciate everyone dropping any questions. Haven't got around to all of them, but I'll try and get through a few here. Do you think Maka is too slow for Iraola style? You know what? That's one that he's been playing in the World Cup, and I do think he suits that Argentina team, but no one's really talking about McAllister coming back for pre-season. I feel like most of us have kind of given up on him, but it'd be interested to see how he uses him in pre-season, if he's going to play him a bit deeper. He played a lot in the 10 with Slot, which I absolutely hated, by the way. I hated seeing him in that 10. But what do you guys think? Do you think he is going to stay? Do you think he doesn't suit this style of football?
I don't know. We've seen a couple of links that sort of suggest that he will be going, but I'm not sure. Maybe Iraola will have a good look at him in pre-season. Obviously, it'll be quite late at that point, though, because I think Argentina will definitely get to at least the quarterfinals, won't they?
Yeah.
Is it Cape Verde they play? And
Cape Verde tomorrow, yeah.
I think they have an easy game after that as well. So, but yeah, he has been really good. Not really good, but he's looked tidy. Looked much better in an Argentina shirt than he did for Liverpool. I do have worries about if he could play in that high pressing football. But we did see him like that. He played his best football really, in terms of off the ball and stuff in that Slot one in the 4-2-3-1 in Slot's first season at the club.
Yeah.
I think he was tasked with getting around the pitch a lot in that season, wasn't he? I think last season there was definitely a massive physical decline. If he can put that behind him, I've actually got no doubts that he can be really important for us. But it's just a question of can he? Is he physically finished at the age of 27?
Yeah, it's nothing about his football ability or his football brain. But Brian, you said you think he's gone.
Yeah, I just don't see. Maybe it's harsh, but I don't see a way that he recovers from the season he's had. Like, I genuinely at times thought he was worse than Fabinho's drop off, and I was someone who didn't want Fabinho to go at the time, even though I knew he had dropped off a level. But I thought maybe there's still a way back for him. But like this McAllister drop off is like a tier below that, and I don't see a way back for him. And I love McAllister, but you don't just lose 3 yards of pace and play the way you've been playing for the last few months because of the manager. Like, we can see with players where you're like, oh yeah, look, the manager hasn't really helped them out a lot there, or but like, just for me, I think it's time to go. You'll get 50 million, 60 million for him. Take it, run and get a midfielder in who's younger, who can play as a holding midfielder. I don't think we need this many midfielders that can play that 8 position or be shoehorned at 10. I think now is the time to just go and get a proper DM and start building a system with midfielders we know we're going to play and who are going to feature week in, week out, who want to be at the club, who have committed their future, who don't have their dad coming out every other week talking about Barcelona, Real Madrid, and their son wanting to leave.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Yasin says, but he was good in Klopp style and it was almost Iraola style. Do you know what, though? McAllister in the first half of that season did actually struggle quite a bit. He was playing in the city. I know he did come back from. There was a couple games whenever he came back from international break, he would play in the 6 and he would get destroyed. I remember the Wolves game away. was an early kickoff. He started that, got hooked at halftime. There was a Luton one as well. But in the second half of the season, he moved forward into the 8 and was our best player in the remainder of 23-24. Then he had an amazing 24-25. So overall, he's had a great Liverpool career. It's just unfortunate that physically he's fallen off a lot. What do you think of what type of role do you think Noni could be given under Iraola? It's the Noni fanboy. Big up to you, mate. I mean, this player, I'm so excited to see him in pre-season. He's the most excited player that I'm getting ready to see. I think he's going to play a lot as well.
Yeah, definitely in pre-season he'll get a lot of minutes. I think the plan for him next season should be either he gets a good loan to either top a championship or even I think he could play bottom of Premier League right now. But I think it might be better to put him in a better team in the championship, just so he can adapt physically. Really? Yeah, you don't want him just getting pummeled by Premier League teams.
No. Sorry to cut across your point. Do you not think he should stay within the team and start to fight to get some minutes? That's what I would have thought for him. Again, I'm not even discounting what you've said. I actually think it's a good point that he probably should go on loan. But I always had in my head he would be in and around the team and probably start to play all the cup games now, whereas he didn't really get to feature in a lot of them. And then, he has the FA Cup, he has the Carabao Cup. He probably comes on in the league when we're winning games. Maybe we might see Iraola trust him a little bit more, like Klopp did with Tyler Morton, for example, or players like that. I'd like to see that personally, because if we don't sign a proper DM this summer, I'm not saying Neoni is a DM, but we could potentially see Gravenberch back there and maybe you see Neoni come in. I don't know. But
There's quite split in the comments. If you see, we've got a few people saying they keep him, a few people saying he'd go out on loan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Either he gets that loan or you give him increased minutes. I don't think he can play next season sort of similar minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
He did under Slot. Stagnate his progression even more. Like we saw him come through under Klopp, and there's been really no progress in terms of minutes since then. He obviously looks better physically now. He seems to be growing into his body a bit more. I'm really excited for him. I think he's a very good progressive passer, probably our best, alongside Jones, our best progressive passer in terms of a midfielder. And he is so young. I think he's one of our better pressers as well. I think under Slot last season, those few cameos that he had, he was like the only one that I saw on the pitch that still had a bit of that Klopp sort of moulding about him.
Yeah.
So I do think Iraola will like him in that sense. But yeah, either increase minutes and maybe you only sign one midfielder. If Jones and McAllister leave, maybe you only sign one and give Neoni increased minutes, or he gets a good championship loan, in my opinion. Top of championship.
Yeah, I forgot about Jones there, to be fair. But I think it's so exciting to see these young players get some minutes in pre-season, all over the pitch, including obviously Rio's going to have a big one. There's other youngsters that you've spoken about a lot, Liam, and pre-season isn't too far away. We've just got a few more weeks, right? And then we're gonna see what Iraola is cooking.
I saw Endo was at the AXA today. I know pre-season hasn't started, but Endo was at the AXA. So players are clearly reporting to sort of do their early duties. So we can't be too far away. It's very, very exciting. Someone who I'm most excited to see, actually, which leads in quite well to potentially another conversation, is Jeremy Jacquet and Giovanni Leone. I think both of them, we didn't get to see enough of Leone last season. We saw him once.
We do.
Week on the Cup 4 though.
See you every week, mate.
We only got to see him once there, and he looked so promising. So it's going to be really looking forward to seeing him. But then Jacquet obviously officially announced yesterday. He was announced anyway, but got to do the media duties because, like I said, he's officially a Liverpool player. I'm really excited to see both of them, to be honest. Do you think one of them will go into the season as the starter? Because again, we're talking about not maybe signing loads of players.
Yeah, no, can they? Oh my God.
Yeah. As it stands, we've got Jacquet, Leone, Van Dijk and Gomez. But in my opinion, obviously Van Dijk's getting older. We probably want to be resting him in some games. He played every single minute last season for both Liverpool and the Netherlands. I'm not saying he can't do it again, but ideally you don't want him to do it. You know what I mean? You don't want him playing in cup matches at home to Barnsley and things like that. But then maybe if we don't get another one in, we know Gomez is probably going to have to fill in at right back at times. We know he's injury prone. And then really you're relying on two young centre-backs, inexperienced in terms of, the grand scheme of things. I know we spent a lot of money on them. We're probably backing them to to be able to come straight into the team. But I think it's a lot of pressure, especially after both of them having long-term injuries as well. And there's a lot of unknowns, isn't there? I think we probably need a more experienced option, maybe like a Lacroix or someone like that. But I'd like to know.
I'd love Lacroix, yeah.
Been linked to Chelsea, isn't he?
Yeah, I saw that.
That would be a good signing for me, but Jacquet or Leone to start the season, Brian. If you had to say right now who you think it will be.
Let me put my jacket on then. I think Jared. That was really, that was a terrible joke. Well, maybe I'll have a Jacquet potato later. I think they just get worse. I think he does start going into the season. To be honest, I know Leone is back fit, but I don't know. I think it's the same for Jacquet as well, isn't it? He's injured and he's still in rehabilitation, so it's a weird one. But I think if both fit, I still think Leone is viewed as a less senior player. I think Jacquet comes in, big price tag, and I expect him to start unless we sign another centre half like a Lacroix or something like that. But I would love Lacroix. Like I think he'd be brilliant for us.
Yeah,
even just any other option though. Like I genuinely don't care as long as we get another body in, because like I said, I don't think we can. I would be concerned.
Ben Davies.
How many seasons have we gone into? How many seasons have we gone into where we centre back is the position that we've just sort of disregarded and left us short, and we've seen it, bite us in the ass so many times.
It's like DM. It's happened
we saw it at right back last season, and we could potentially see it at right back this season as well. I think we need to address the squad issues. But yeah, I would expect Jacquet to be starting if fit. I think he's probably the most similar out of Jacquet and Leone to Canate to sort of. Especially defensively, I think he's better on the ball than Canate, and I think Iraola will really like that, progressing the ball from deep. Him and Van Dijk, I'm looking forward to seeing that sort of partnership, that dynamic.
Yeah, I saw his first interview was released, wasn't it? He was speaking in French, but it's good to see that he's getting working. Spoke about Van Dijk a little bit too. I think he can learn a lot off him. I do need to see more from him, but I do think that ACL to Leone, I would expect him to, when Newcastle rolls around, I think he's going to be the starter alongside. And it's going to be tough because whoever you play out of those two, to play in that atmosphere, first game of the season, it's going to be very difficult. Everyone's going to be watching them. They're going to be judged, ruthlessly. Jacquet cost a lot of money. He wasn't cheap. So rightly so. It's like 60 million, right?
Yeah. I think the fact that we've spent near enough, like, I don't know how much was Leone, around 30 or something. We've spent near enough
25, 30.
Yeah, near enough, like 90 million on these two young centre backs. I think it shows how much trust they have in them, in the pair of them, to potentially be the pairing together in the future. Post Van Dijk. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully, they can start pre-season well and have a good season.
How many times have, like, I don't know, but Saliba came to mind and I just checked there, but how many times does a club gone out and signed not an unknown centre half, but someone that's good in Europe and stuff like that? Like, I feel like Jacquet is that sort of player. I know Saliba went on loan and came back to Arsenal, but his Premier League debut I think they might have played Bournemouth away or something, opening game of the season, and that was the year they went on to challenge for the title. And now look at him and how good he is, and that's what I kind of hope is what happens. It's just you get this player and everybody is talking about it. It's like, I can already picture where you're on Twitter and everyone's like, oh my God, Jacquet for Liverpool is unbelievable. That's what I want to see happen, where we've just got this gem and you're like, yep, perfect. You are now our starting centre half for the next 10 years and we don't have to worry about that ever again.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I mean, I remember that Saliba game. I'd never watched him, and honestly, I'm such a big fan of Saliba. When I first saw him play, I was like, what the actual hell? Like, he was so good. So I'm not expecting him to live up to those heights, but it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Hopefully he can build a bit of momentum in pre-season, of course, getting ready for that big game. But before we end, guys, we've got any more topics, any more questions you think we should cover?
Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Not Liverpool specifically, but I think I don't know if we all back France going into the tournament. I think.
I didn't.
Don't say he said Egypt.
Egypt. Wow.
No. No. I think I said Argentina potentially. Did I?
I don't know. No, I don't know. When we paired Spain and France up against each other in the knockouts, and you and Jamie definitely.
Oh, I said Spain. I said Spain, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, France haven't really played anyone yet, have they? Like massive, but they've looked so impressive, and I can't wait until they do get a big fixture. Obviously, we were probably hoping there was going to be that Germany game, but Germany got knocked out by Paraguay. What are your thoughts on England, Max? Any thoughts? Any closing thoughts on them?
Well, it was very close to an embarrassment yesterday, to be honest. To be fair, we did create quite a lot of chances after the first 30 minutes, but that was awful start to the game. I just don't think we're good enough to win. I think we'll get to the semi-final still. But that Mexico game is going to be tricky. It's going to be very tricky. And then Brazil, yeah, Brazil potentially after. But I just look at some of the players and Jed Spence was in like the championship like 4 or 5 years ago. And he's not good enough. Like I don't rate him that highly. I don't rate him that highly.
I saw Brian in Zach Lab's comments earlier saying that Spence is good because I think they were giving him stick too. But yeah, you know what? I think England have got far too much stick, and I think I agree with everything Tuchel's saying. Like, you're currently playing teams that just want to sit in and survive. You're built for these transition games where you've got a Madueke, Rashford, Gordon, making Rodgers, Bellingham, making runs beyond Kane. I think you're probably in certainly in my top 3 to win it. I think you'll beat Portugal. I think you'll beat Spain. I think you'll probably beat Argentina, to be honest. I think France. Did I say Spain there? I meant Brazil. I think France and Spain are the only 2, in my opinion, where they could give you a lot of problems. But I'm interested to see that game in Mexico because I think that's
the one.
That could be a big one.
1 a.m. kickoff. You know, their altitude they've got over there. They've got an incredible record as well. But like you say, yeah, no, I definitely will. Yeah, 100%. The pubs are staying open, so I might have to get to a pub. But I do think they'll have so much confidence because they haven't conceded a goal this tournament. They've won every game up to this point. But it could suit us. It could suit us, you know, them coming onto us more. But Brazil will be difficult. You're going to have to beat the best at some point. Maybe those games do suit us. But I just think as an English fan, it's built into you to be a bit depressing and a bit negative because we've got so far previously and never actually got over the line. But I think Tuchel can do it. I just don't think some of the squad's selection was the best. I can't believe you rate Jed Spence, Brian.
I can't believe.
I was just gonna say, like, I think I've said it to you before, but the last or 2 of the games I went to over the last year were both Spurs, and he played in both games, and he played left full in both games, and I genuinely thought he was absolutely incredible. Who was he up against in the first half? I think it was Szoboszlai, and then he locked up Salah in the second half as well. And in the I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to bite. But
I do agree, though. Like, sorry to cut you off. I think Jed Spence being like a right-footed left back and Salah obviously wanting to come onto his left. I think some of Salah's games where he struggled the most last season, in my opinion, was against fullbacks playing on the opposite side, like Nico Williams as well at Forest. Yeah. You know, he's not someone that wants to hit the line really. He wants to come inside, and obviously you're then dribbling into the player's stronger foot. I think Jed Spence is good defensively, but I just can't be like, why are you not taking Trent or someone over?
Yeah, that is mad.
Surely he knew like they were going to be coming up against low blocks, like potentially Congo, and who else did you play? Panama, Ghana. Yeah, you got to be taking Wharton, Palmer, and Trent, in my opinion, just to unlock them.
No deep creator.
No, that's what I mean. And you looked very one-dimensional in that game against Ghana, especially.
Yeah.
Just to give you a bit of a different dynamic. But anyways, that's my.
I have one important question before we go that keeps getting asked in this comment section. Max, did you get a haircut?
I did. Nyoni, that he's been spamming the chat. I did get a haircut. Yes. And thank you for the compliments. All right, guys, are we done? Yeah, we're done. No more chat. The COP 3 was enjoyable.
It was very enjoyable. I liked it. Max for the new host.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. I'm coming for you, Jamie. I'm coming for you. Yeah, we'll be back on Monday at 7 p.m. I'm sure. Well, I hope Jamie will be back to take over hosting duties. But if not, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be back on Monday. Take care, guys. In a bit.
See you later. Very enjoyable that.
There we go.